All right, it's Sunday, July 20th, 8:01 a.m. So the construction starts back in May. Construction started, it's supposed to be done by Halloween. Very, very doubtful that they're going to hit that target. But the construction barrels kind of start right here at Waterman. Yeah, on the right-hand side, the sidewalk is pretty tore up. And that makes me think that that's where most of the work had to happen. My guess is that that's where the water main is, the sewer line is, all that stuff is really on that side of the road. On the left-hand side of the road, you see a couple places where they've dug into yards, but not a lot. Forest here on the right has really done a whole big construction project there. We're here at Gibbons. Lots of construction there. Here at Stratford Road. Got a guy coming up behind me. He's probably not going to be too happy that I'm driving this slow. Lots of construction work. I noticed virtually all of the piping is gone now. It's probably under the ground. All the blue pipes. Lots of construction, detritus. Lots of equipment still out. So they got to be getting close to being done. Over here on the right is sort of the last vestige of all the supplies and materials. And then here we are at Dryden. Up until about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, this is where all the construction stopped, right here at Dryden Avenue. Now, about 2 weeks ago, up here on the left on Beverly, they started staging some of the big blue pipes, which is, my understanding is that's the water main. These blue pipes, they put up, got a huge stack of those blue pipes. What I noticed here is that they didn't put the blue pipes out on the road or out on the yards like they did before. Now, just this past week, they went through here and added all of this orange fencing around all the trees. Starting in North Dryden, they came down here. Any place where you see green fencing is somebody else did that fencing, but the orange fencing is from the construction company. Goes right down here to where we go down to one lane. All of this fencing showed up just in the last 4 days. Goes all the way down here. It's at Haddow. We're at Belmont now. And the fencing actually stops right here at Pine. However, there are still yellow ribbons around trees that seem to indicate that those are the ones that get the fencing. So what we noticed was every tree where they put fencing around it had a yellow ribbon. My guess is somebody came through first and did an early pass and said, fence this tree, fence this tree, fence this tree, and then the fencing guys came back through and actually did all the fencing. So there's still a couple trees that look like they're supposed to be fenced still. They'll probably get those done on Monday. It'll be really interesting to see how they transition from east of Dryden Avenue and start to move the equipment and everything west of Dryden Avenue. Once you go west of Dryden Avenue, you quickly get into an area where two things happen. Number one, it's still 2 lanes and a turn lane, but right at, I think it's Douglas, it goes down to 2-lane road. There's no middle lane. So you lose like a whole lane of width on the road. The second thing that happens, according to Arlington Heights GIS map, where they show all of the lead pipes, and they show for every property, they say, well, the feed from the village is lead, and then or the feed from the village to the house is lead. Well, back there east of Dryden, almost no properties had any lead, meaning almost nobody had to have their yard carved into. Once you get west of Dryden, that changes significantly, and the vast majority of the homes have lead. So now, not only do they go down to 1 lane or 2 lanes instead of 3 lanes, but they also get into the part of the neighborhoods where almost every house is going to have their line replaced. So the work will get harder. It'll be kind of interesting to see how they handle that. I have no idea how they handle that. Matter of fact, I'm not even 100% sure that they've actually replaced anybody's home pipes yet. Way back at Waterman, there are a couple homes where they've dug up into the front yard, but it only looks like they dug into their front yard up to the sidewalk and maybe once past the sidewalk, but it didn't go all the way up to the house. So I don't even really know how they do that. It'd be interesting to hear from somebody who may have already had their pipes replaced. But point is, once they go west of Dryden, then the road gets smaller and the work increases significantly. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out.